From almost entirely nude women sprinting across the greens, to players transforming their clubs into weapons in moments of frustration, these are 30 of the most inappropriate and absolutely bizarre moments that have occurred on the golf course.
Tiger Woods is amused and confused in 1999 as an underdressed Scottish lass drops by to wish him good luck.
First, we start with the number 30. Imagine being a kid and going to watch one of the biggest golf events, the PGA Championship. You watch the biggest players compete, and one of them gives you his ball as a gift, only for someone else to steal it. This happened when Bryson DeChambeau was in the middle of the final round. While walking off the 9th green and heading towards the 10th tee, DeChambeau tossed his golf ball to a young fan in the crowd. Unfortunately, before the child could catch it, an older man intervened and snatched the ball away. This act of pure greed didn't go unnoticed by DeChambeau, who immediately stopped in his tracks, turned back toward the ropes, and pointed out the man who had stolen the souvenir.
Get that ball back!
He started shouting at the man, but the man didn't listen at first. Eventually, the person gave the ball when DeChambeau said, "Come on, buddy," to him. This moment became a huge embarrassment for the person, while DeChambeau got high praise for it. Number 29 is one of the most controversial figures in the history of golf, John Daly. Daly is known for his ability to entertain fans with his memorable antics. Daly is involved in many incidents, but this one stands out. Daly had finished the 2017 Masters, and on Monday, he was doing an outing when he decided it would be a great idea to shoot a tee shot off a beer can. Daly was holding his signature cigarette and was wearing almost no footwear as he went to shoot the ball. As Daly hit the ball, the crowd erupted with joy. But as this wasn't weird enough, Daly saw that he had hit the can and beer was leaking from it. He didn't want to waste it. He picked up the can and began to drink. The crowd cheered with huge applause as Daly chugged the beer without losing a single drop from the beer can. Interestingly, this wasn't the only time Daly had done this shot. A decade earlier, in 2007, Daly had pulled a similar stunt at Warwick Hills, proving that entertaining a crowd was second nature to him. At number 28, we have an intruder who decided to take the ball and run away with it. It was during one of the matches of the 1998 Players Championship. Brad Fable, the first player to shoot a hole-in-one on the signature par 3 in the 1986 Players Championship, was playing the tournament when a seagull invaded the pitch. Fable's tee shot had landed on the green, and spectators were applauding when suddenly this intruder came up. This seagull first looked at the ball, but then tried to grab it in his beak. At first, its attempts to hold the ball were in vain, but he didn't lose hope. The crowd watched in amusement as this seagull finally grabbed the ball. As it got the ball under control, this bird tried to fly away with the ball, but as he was about to pick up the pace, it was passing over the pond. It lost control of the ball and it fell into the pond. The crowd erupted in laughter and was stunned by the absurdity of what they had just seen, and the culprit went flying. The seagull may not have gotten his ball, but he surely did make a memorable day for everyone on the scene. Coming in at number 27, we have one of the biggest stars in golf today, Rory McIlroy, whose shot sent a fan covered in a cactus. McIlroy was playing the opening round of the WGC Accenture Match Play Championship when he found himself in an unusual position on the par 4 15th hole. His previous shot had gotten into a desert area at an awful position propped up against a stone. This shot was going to be difficult as he couldn't move the stone, which would disrupt the ball, so he had to take the shot as it was. But as soon as McIlroy hit the ball, he knew something was wrong. His shot had gone unexpectedly towards a fan, but as he tried to avoid the shot, he went tumbling to a cactus plant. His whole shirt got covered into the cactus. Although he wasn't injured from the thick needles of the cactus, he surely was in huge discomfort. Eventually, the field staff helped him relieve the pain. At number 26, we have a prime example of how anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Golf is a prestigious game, and it's often very safe compared to other sports, but there are some dangers in golf. This happened on the par 5 9th hole of the Sony Open at Waialae Country Club. People were gathered around Hideki Matsuyama, who was on level par for the day and was about to make his tee shot. Matsuyama made his shot a little left toward the fairway, but as he was on top of his swing, the club dropped from his hands. This Srixon ZX5M club with enormous speed went hurtling toward the spectators. They tried to dodge dodge it, but failed. Matsuyama ran over to check on the spectators. The club didn't cause any minor injuries, but it taught the spectators a lesson to always stay at a safe distance from the swing of the club. At number 25 is Phil Mickelson, who got himself into a penalty while playing in the third round of the US Open. It happened when he tried to put the ball from a few feet away, but it went past the hole. Instead of letting the ball come to a complete stop, he jogged quickly toward it and hit it again. He might be thinking the ball would go far away if it rolled down the hill, but as he hit the ball again, it failed to go into the hole and rolled over it. Finally, Mickelson let the ball stop, placed his tee on the ground, and tried to put it again, but the ball still didn't find the hole. This turned out to be a moment of great laughter for the crowd who watched Phil as he couldn't put the ball from a short distance. Mickelson was also frustrated with the ball. This time the ball stopped close to the hole and he made the putt. But this behavior Mickelson earned him a 2-stroke penalty. The incident sparked widespread debate and people criticized him for handling the situation in this manner. Ultimately, Mickelson had to apologize for his actions. Number 24, and we are looking into the 2023 Ryder Cup. Europe and the United States have a fierce rivalry spanning almost a century. This time, the Ryder Cup was held at Marco Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome. Europe was leading from the start of Sunday singles, and they needed 4 points to win. The decisive moment came courtesy of England's Tommy Fleetwood when he clinched a crucial half point on the 16th hole to secure Europe's Ryder Cup victory. His excellent drive landed on the green, and he calmly two-putted for birdie. Meanwhile, Ricky Fowler's tee shot found the water, giving Fleetwood the advantage and ensuring the win for Europe. This sent the crowds into a wild frenzy and they started enjoying the scenes. One person managed to cross the security and started walking on the green. This man, named Colonel Sanders, who looked much like the KFC founder, was so happy that he stormed towards the pond and dived in to celebrate Europe's victory. Fans let the moment sink in along with this guy as they defeated the Americans once again. Eventually, this guy got out of the pond, but he wasn't done yet. After getting out, he started clapping with the crowd in a beautiful rhythm and let the moment sink in. Meanwhile, if you are also enjoying the moment, make sure to subscribe as it will help our channel grow. We are also uploading golf content regularly, so you won't want to miss out on that. Next, at number 23, golf is a sport of precision and players take a lot of time to master. But sometimes, even the best golfer makes terrible shots, and it becomes highly unpredictable. Just like Jacques Kruijswijk got himself into trouble. Kruijswijk was playing in the first round of the Vodacom Origins of Golf tournament when he found his ball up against a tree on the par 4 8th hole. When Kruijswijk tried to hit the ball and advance it to the hole, it didn't work. Instead, the ball immediately topped off, ricocheting off the tree. It went on to hit him in the groin. It was a painful blow, and Kruijswijk sat on the ground with this agonizing pain. Meanwhile, fans enjoyed it with great laughs. Kruijswijk also got a penalty for hitting himself with the ball. At number 22, golf is a sport that requires huge patience from the players. Even at the times you are not having a good day, you have to keep your nerves under control. But John Daly had other plans to let out his frustration. He was playing on the 9th hole in the Australian Open at the Royal Sydney Club when his tee shot didn't land where he had wanted it to, which led to him becoming very furious. At that moment, one of the spectators, Brad Clegg, tried to take a close-up photo of Big John, but as Daly was already frustrated, he snatched Clegg's camera and threw it into a tree. In his agony, Daly had lost his sportsmanship and poured out all his frustration on the spectator. He even blamed the cameraman for the cause of this mishap. At number 21, if you think you have seen enough weird shots already, this will make you crazy. This time our boy McIlroy was playing in the 2014 Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. He was playing his normal game as he made his shot on the par 4 14th hole during the second round. His tee shot veered right off the fairway and went into some trees. The ball ricocheted and surprisingly fell into the pocket of one of the spectators who was trying to get out of the way. Fans couldn't believe how a ball could fall into the pocket of a spectator, but it happened and the crowd gathered to see it. McIlroy reached the place and had some laughs with the spectators. Then a field marshal asked that person if he had moved or not. After asking him, he told McIlroy to drop the tee on where he was standing and proceeded to play his next shot. At number 20, we have the Real Madrid superstar turned golfer. In the extreme weather of Scotland, Gareth Bale was playing the annual Alfred Dunhill Links Championship in a morning foursome. The former soccer star tried to chip the ball just outside the green towards the pin, but the ball bypassed the pin and stopped just away from the hole. But the real moment was yet to come when a surprise visitor took on the scene. A cute dog ran towards the ball and plucked it from the earth. This puppy ran away with it while everyone watched in disbelief. Next at number 19, let's move to the 2023 Mexico Open. It was a sunny day on the Vedanta golf course, and players were having a great time when things got bad. During the first round, Erik van Rooyen was lining up for his shot at the 10th hole when he and the camera crew were bombarded with a rather unusual force of nature, sending them into a panic state. As Van Rooyen tried to hit his approach shot, suddenly a swarm of bees took over the field. Although the bees weren't visible on the camera, someone shouted, "Bees! Bees! Bees!" and they all crouched on the ground. All the players and other staff lay on the ground, helpless. Eventually, the swarm of bees passed away from the ground and play was resumed, but it sure did create some funny moments for the audience. For number 18, we head on to England for the World Match Play Championship. Sergio Garcia was one of the rising talents in golf and was playing against Retief Goosen, who led the tournament after the 14th hole. Garcia needed to do something to stay in the game, but when he tried to take the swing and hit the ball, suddenly his back foot slipped and he couldn't correctly hit the ball. His shot went into the trees, which made him furious. He lost his temper. In the heat of the game, he took off that shoe and threw it on an advertising board. Luckily, his manager threw him back his shoe, but he was still furious at that shoe and kicked it with his feet. The shoe went past the referee, John Grant, nearly hitting him in the face. Garcia also went on to lose the match as well and got huge criticism for his behavior. At number 17, we have Paige Spiranak, arguably the most beautiful golfer known for challenging the dress code rules. She left professional golf to pursue a career as a content creator. She has amassed a huge fan base on social media. Golf is usually known for conservative dress codes for women, but Paige has gone out of her way to wear tank tops, short skirts, and athletic wear, which has gathered her huge criticism. But this one incident hit her the hardest. Paige was visiting a new course and was wearing a proper outfit when an elderly lady at a country club confronted her. She stopped her in the parking lot and said, "You look cute, but that is highly inappropriate. We have rules here, and you cannot wear that outfit." Paige had been criticized for her outfits, but this time it hurt her more as it came from a woman. Paige said she wore an appropriate outfit with a collar and zipped it up to avoid showing cleavage. But to hear that comment from a female was traumatizing for her. Paige later revealed that she cried all the way home after the incident. At number 16, this woman decided to invade the greens, barely wearing anything. It was the 2013 President's Cup at Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio, and everyone was glued to their TV screens on the 18th hole. As everyone watched what would happen in the final minutes of the match, this woman named Kimberly Webster managed to bypass security and started running across the greens. But the crazy thing was that she barely wore anything. She had her body fully uncovered and wore only a thong. All the spotlight shifted towards this intruder, who was now running towards Tiger Woods. But the police managed to track her down before she could reach him. The crowds watched in disbelief as the scene unfolded with unexpected intensity. Webster later revealed that she had searched for top streakers of all time, and they all were male. So she wanted to change history, which led her to invade the pitch. Coming in at number 15, we head to the inaugural Saudi International Tournament held in 2019. Prominent golfers from all around the world were paid huge sums of money to gather there. Sergio Garcia was also playing in the tournament, but he got disqualified too early. The reason? Garcia had damaged the greens. You must think it's a normal thing to happen in golf, but he had damaged not one, not two, but 5 greens. Fellow golfers playing in groups behind him accused Garcia of purposely hitting his putter into the greens, which caused damage. Although he wasn't recorded for damaging the greens, his frustration on the bunker was visible as he couldn't make the shot he intended. This lack of sportsmanship earned him disqualification from the tournament, and he was likely facing a ban from European tournaments after this behavior. At number 14, what happens when a pro wrestler decides to play golf? You might think that things will be great as the guy will make some weird shots, have some laughs, and off he goes. But two-time WWE Universal Champion Bill Goldberg had other plans for the Pro-Am event at the 2002 American Express. Goldberg was minding his business and talking to players on the field when a fan wearing a yellow shirt came to him and started punching him. Little did he know his punches weren't going to move a 6'3" giant. When Goldberg saw himself getting punched, he couldn't resist his wrestling instincts. Goldberg grabbed this fan by the collar and tossed him into the nearby pond. Fans enjoyed this moment as they had seen a wrestling show for almost no fee. But this wasn't it from Goldberg. He started to chase other fellow golfers as well. Goldberg was also seen hitting the ball from the handle of the putter, which left fans in more laughter. But the most amusing moment was when he grabbed a club and snapped it into 2 pieces in a second. He later signed it and gave it to a fan. Although Goldberg may not be a good golfer, he certainly is a great entertainer. Oi. At number 13, we move to the 2017 Honda Classic. As you know, golfers have to shoot the ball from where it lands during their approach shot. It can go outside the greens and get stuck in a tree. But like this gentleman, Sean Stephanie, your shot can end in a nearby pond. So what do you do afterward? Certainly not what Stephanie did. He decided to hit the shot from the water. A similar thing had happened with Gonzalo Fernandez Castaño earlier in the year. But unlike him, Stephanie didn't just take his shoes, socks, and pants off. He took off his shirt and was stripped down to his underwear. Then he proceeded to the water and took the daring shot, and the water made huge splashes as the ball went flying away. He got huge applause for this daring shot, as this was a daring shot that only a few gather the courage to play. After getting applause from the fellows as well, he finally got back into his clothes and proceeded to the next shot. At number 12, animals often invade the pitch, but this one just came to watch McIlroy play. Rory was playing in the Travelers Championship at TPC River Highlands. He had just announced his first tee and was moments away from taking his first shot of the day when the play was interrupted by a furry friend. A squirrel appeared on the ground and caught everyone's attention. It took a seat in front of McIlroy and wasn't in a hurry to leave the scene. After a few moments, it went away, but it came back on the ground again, running towards McIlroy. It seemed like he wasn't going to leave the scene. One of the commentators said, "Just get the autograph and get off the tee." Eventually, McIlroy's caddy intervened on the scene and forced the squirrel out of the way. But as McIlroy was about to take the shot, it appeared on the scene again. This time it quietly stood on the side and watched McIlroy swing his club. And then, after a while, it got away. The squirrel may not have signed any contracts that day, but it certainly made a memorable cameo in the world of golf. At number 11, let's move to the 2007 President's Cup, already known for its fair share of drama, but the most unforgettable moment came courtesy of Woody Austin. Austin was representing the US at the Royal Montreal Golf Club. During the second day's 4-ball session, Austin's ball landed in the water hazard. To avoid the penalty, Austin decided to take the shot as it was. He went down into the water and lined himself up, but as he took his shot, he lost his balance. He tried to control himself but couldn't, and fell face first into the water, creating huge splashes. Fellow golfers and commentators all started laughing at him. Meanwhile, Austin quickly got out and dried himself. Austin kept his composure and didn't let the embarrassment take over. He managed to birdie the last 3 holes, helping his team get the much-needed half point. At number 10, what happens when a gym bro decides to play golf? It was not a regular gym bro, but one of the best golfers today, Bryson DeChambeau. He had put in over 20 pounds of muscle in the past few months to increase his stroking power. DeChambeau was playing at the PGA Championship at TPC Harding Park. He was 2 under after he made a birdie on the 6th hole. When he played his 7th hole with the driver, he swung it as hard as he could to get the ball close to the green on the 340-yard hole. He had made an amazing shot, and it went about 300 yards. But as DeChambeau leaned on the driver to pick up the tee, the driver couldn't bear his weight and snapped at that exact moment. Although he got a replacement for his driver, fans enjoyed this one-of-a-kind moment. At number 9, talking about the immense power, what happens when a bear takes over the greens? In 2017, a person named Gary Cox was playing on the Moose Run Creek golf course in Anchorage, Alaska, when suddenly a bear appeared on the scene. This sent chills down everyone's spine, as this thing could literally kill them in a matter of seconds. But the bear calmly proceeded towards the flag. As it was trying to grab it, a person shouted, and the bear got cautious. It left the flag, but then started moving towards the person's equipment. The person got scared as the bear might start to attack him. However, it only sniffed his equipment and seemed unbothered by his presence on the field. People began shouting to scare the bear so it might leave the greens. Eventually, the bear walked away into the forest after terrorizing the whole area. For number 8, we head to Australia, a country famously known for its wildlife making unexpected appearances during live games. golfer Stephen Rush was playing the 4th hole at the Heritage Golf and Country Club in Victoria, Australia, when an extraordinary scene unfolded. What began with just a couple of kangaroos casually hopping across the field quickly turned into a spectacle as their numbers multiplied dramatically. Within moments, it seemed like an entire army of kangaroos was stampeding through the golf course. The players watched in awe, stepping aside to let the kangaroos pass without any interference. While kangaroo sightings on Australian golf courses, especially those near bushland, are relatively common, such a massive group appearing all at once is a rare occurrence. Experts believe the mob was likely startled by something nearby, perhaps a predator or a sudden loud noise, triggering their unexpected migration across the greens. At number 7, golf can get very frustrating when you don't get the required results. But you have to keep control of yourself, no matter the situation. This event happened at Burnaby Mountain Golf Course in Canada. What began as a verbal altercation between two golfers quickly escalated into a violent confrontation. In the heat of the moment, the golfer in the white and dark-colored shirt walked toward the man in the pink shirt. Fueled by anger, he lifted his driver and struck the other golfer, sending him crashing to the ground. The outburst didn't stop there. He also hit 2 other people on the course. Ultimately, police came to the scene and filed charges against him. But the reason this guy attacked so many players was not because of frustration over bad play, but because he was drunk and had lost his mind. At number 6, we head to Abu Dhabi for the 2024 HSBC Championship, where our boy Rory McIlroy was playing. Coincidentally, football star Gareth Bale was there as well, and they decided to have a little fun with a challenge. The goal? To hit a drone in the sky with golf balls. Both players got ready in the hitting position, standing parallel to each other. The drone controller flew the drone between them, and both players launched their shots, only to miss by a huge margin. They tried again, but couldn't get any closer. Eventually, they realized that a moving drone was too difficult to hit, so they decided to stabilize the drone mid-air to make it the perfect target. They took their shots again, coming very close but still missing. After several attempts, McIlroy finally struck the drone, sending it flying toward the ground. Afterward, the two shared a moment of laughter, celebrating the victory, and had a great time with the challenge. At number 5 is the Waste Management Phoenix Open, known for its wild fans and electric atmosphere. It was in 2022 when Sam Ryder was making his tee shot from the 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale. The 16th is notorious for its rowdy crowd, with 17,000 spectators packed into the stands eagerly awaiting every move. Ryder, with his 54-degree wedge in hand, launched the ball toward the green. The ball bounced a couple of times, spun left, and then went into the hole. Even Sam Ryder couldn't believe his hole-in-one shot. The crowd went wild, cheering and celebrating with unbridled enthusiasm, but the excitement didn't end with the cheers. The spectators, known for their festive spirits, began tossing beer cans onto the ground in pure joy. What started as a few cans quickly turned into a barrage, and soon the ground was littered with them. The scene turned chaotic as workers scrambled to clean up the mess. It took a full 15 minutes to clear the area, and only then could the tournament continue. At number 4, we have one of the most unforgettable moments in golf history, involving none other than Tiger Woods. He was playing at St. Andrews for the Open Championship in 2000. It was a great year for him as he cemented his place among golf's greats. Woods shot a final round of 69 to claim his first Open title. The crowds were massive, with spectators trying to catch a glimpse of Tiger Woods as he made his way up the fairway on the 18th hole. But amid the celebrations of this historic victory, an unexpected interruption stole the limelight. Out of nowhere, a woman, completely naked, managed to slip past security and jumped onto the 18th hole, just yards from Woods. She was barefoot, unbothered, and with no clothes on, causing a stir that distracted everyone from the celebrations. The woman, later identified as Jacqueline Salmon, was quickly apprehended by security, but not before she had stolen a moment of the spotlight. When she was taken away, she casually explained that she did it just for fun, not realizing the chaos she had caused. For Tiger Woods, though, it wasn't as amusing. He later called the interruption a shame, expressing that he didn't want his special moment to be overshadowed. Moving to the top, and at number 3 is the moment that left everyone frozen in their positions. It was the opening round of the Zurich Classic of New Orleans at TPC Louisiana, where an uninvited guest, the kind that walks on 4 legs, momentarily stole the spotlight. Sam Stevens was lined up at the 17th hole, preparing for his tee shot, when an unexpected guest appeared, an alligator strolling casually across the fairway. The scene was instantly filled with a mix of tension and amusement. Spectators whispered nervously, wondering if the alligator might cause trouble, while some couldn't help but pull out their phones, snapping pictures of the unexpected visitor. The gator walked slowly, unbothered by the presence of people on the fairway, and got out of sight, heading toward the water. After a brief 7-minute delay, play resumed, but not before the gator had stolen the show. At number 2, you may think you've seen enough crazy stuff, but the 2020 Waste Management Phoenix Open in Arizona proved there's always something new. This tournament, known for its high-energy atmosphere and plenty of alcoholic beverages flowing all day long, is a recipe for unexpected drama. This excessive drinking often leads to some unflattering and humiliating sights. One such incident occurred when a mysterious woman in the grandstands tried to distract players on the 16th hole. A woman in a neon shirt, seemingly out of nowhere, decided to make her own kind of noise. With a daring move, she exposed her breasts and directed them toward the players. Some of the players were distracted by the incident, but the woman wasn't done yet. A couple of seconds later, she flashed the players again, and this time, the stadium erupted with huge roars. Fans couldn't believe what they were witnessing, but the wild scene didn't seem to faze Webb Simpson. While others might have been rattled, Simpson kept his focus. Simpson closed the match with 2 birdies in the final 3 holes to force a playoff with Tony Finau. Simpson looked unbothered by the incident and went on to win the first hole in the playoff, earning a $1.3 million prize. So, while the crowd may have been stunned by the woman's antics, it was Simpson's composure that stole the show. Finally, at the top, golf is seen as a gentleman's game where players respect each other. Yeah, but sometimes things can get worse. This happened in August 2017 at the Athlone Golf Club in Durban, South Africa, following a heated argument over who should play the 9th hole first. There was already some tension when one of the male golfers screamed at a female player to get back in the kitchen. This made the white male golfer very furious, and he started to punch an Indian golfer. But the Indian guy quickly avoided the punch and knocked the golfer to the ground. The white golfer was restrained by other Indian golfers and taken away from the scene. However, the Indian golfer, still enraged, returned to the altercation and began kicking the other guy. As the situation unfolded, the men hurled sexist and racist remarks, which were condemned by the women involved. The most shocking of them was when one man called the woman a slut. Eventually, the Indian guy was stopped by other fellow golfers, who tried to take him away from the white person, and the situation was settled. The woman filming the incident expressed her disgust, emphasizing that this kind of behavior is against golf's core values. In the aftermath, the club's vice president issued an apology and confirmed that an investigation was underway to address the misconduct. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up. We are going to upload more golf videos in the coming weeks that you won't want to miss out on. In the meantime, what was your favorite moment of all of these? Let me know in the comments below.